Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited today. I am finally trying out the Kristen Leanne and Urban Decay Kaleidoscope Dream palette. I am so excited to have my hands on this. For those of you who don't know, Kristen Leanne is a beauty YouTuber. She's also a cruelty-free YouTuber. Any of her products that she uses on her channel are absolutely cruelty-free. She really does her homework, so if that's something that's important to you, then you need to be following her because she is amazing. She's also very colorful. Like, she always has super colorful looks, very fun, very unique. She's just a really fun person to follow. So definitely check out her channel. I will leave a link down below to Kristen's channel. She actually came out with an entire collection with Urban Decay. So she came out with 3 Vice lipsticks, 2 liquid lipsticks, a highlight palette, the Daydream eyeshadow palette, which is more of a neutrals palette, and then this guy here, which is all the colors. And of course, that's the one I picked because I love color, as you can tell. Kristen Leanne is also the founder and owner of Arctic Fox hair color, which is what is in my hair right now. This is Purple Rain from Arctic Fox. So obviously I already support her, and I'm excited to give this a try. First of all, this packaging is super cute. It has that almost like neon light effect to it, which is really fun for the packaging. So the box is actually clear. It's got the same Kristen Leanne on there, but all the texture and stuff came from this, not the box. This is just a clear pink box. So the packaging is really cute when you put it together and you get that fun little effect. On the back of the box, it has a little write-up about her. It says 3 fast facts about Kristen Leanne: color junkie, free spirit, and oversharer. No wonder we get along so well. This palette epitomizes everything we love about KL, from her passion for makeup to her whimsical vibe. We tapped into Kristen's amazing makeup talent and discovered what inspires her. Then we bounced color ideas back and forth until we created her perfect palette. Inside you'll find 11 vibrant shades, including a uniquely shifty yellow, vivid brights, and out of this world split pen duotone. Includes a double-ended brush. It also has all of the colors on here, as well as how it's actually laid out in the palette, which is super unique. It comes with this cute little 2-ended brush. Honestly, I don't usually use brushes from palettes, but I'll give it a whirl. And then this is what the actual palette looks like. So definitely a unique layout. Definitely something that's going to drive me crazy, being slightly OCD. I prefer my pans to be perfect little rows, but that's okay. I will still love this palette. So we have Spitfire, Stay Gold, Tahine, Lime Time. This is the split pen. It's hard to tell on screen, but half of it's like a white duochrome and half of it's a blue duochrome, and that is Leo and Brixton, which are her adorable little Pomeranian and her bunny. They are so stinking cute. She actually has more animals now, but when she was formulating the palette, those were her 2 animals that she had. And then we have TRM and LCW. I know she told people what those stood for, but I cannot remember offhand. Then we have dye, as in hair dye, because, well, obviously she has Arctic Fox. And then this is Corona, and this is 13th Floor. I'm so excited to dip into this. So I already have all my face makeup on. This is just going to be an eye look. So I'm going to zoom you guys in, and we're going to start working on the eyes. So the one thing about this palette is that there is only 2 matte colors in it. This one, Tahine, which is a beautiful burnt orange, and then this one, 13th Floor, which is a black. It totally made sense that she didn't put a whole bunch of matte shades in this one, because the Daydream palette that she did with them is all mattes and it's all neutrals. So the 2 palettes are definitely kind of supposed to play off of each other, which is totally fine. I didn't buy that palette because, well, I'm not made of money, and if I was going to get one thing from the collection, it was going to be this. I think I'm just going to dip into my Tarte lip palette for a transition shade. I'm going to use Force of Nature, this guy right here. I'm just laying that down as a transition color, so I'm just putting that in the upper part of the crease. Okay, now the question is, which colors do I play with first? Because they are all so beautiful. I think I'm gonna dip into Tahine as a little bit extra in my crease. So just a small amount of that. I'm gonna tap it off, and then I'm gonna start putting that in my crease as well. I don't want this to be too crazy orange because, well, orange is not my favorite color, but I wanted to get it on the eye too. It's actually nice and pigmented. I was a little bit apprehensive about this palette just because I have the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, which is full of colors, and it's not my favorite because those eyeshadows are not super pigmented. So I was a little bit worried about this one having the same kind of formula, but I've also heard that it's a lot better than most of their other shadows. So I will see how pigmented these are. I mean, this is already pretty pigmented. Like, I'm trying to go in as light as I can, and it's definitely showing up orange, so that is a good sign. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is, obviously I'm really drawn to this section right here, these blues and purples and pinks. So I think I'm gonna do like an ombre effect of those colors, maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna start with TRM, which is the darker blue, and I'm gonna stick that in my outer corner. Fallout is happening already. Okay, new plan. I'm gonna stick some powder under my eyes to catch any fallout. Also, new plan, I'm gonna use a flat shader brush for this instead of a blending brush, because this is a shimmer shadow, so it will probably work better with a flat brush. I'm just gonna kind of tap it into place where I want it to be. And then just kind of blurring out the edges because I'm going to be putting dye next to it, and I want it to blend nicely into that color. I'm going to go back in with my blending brush and blend out the top edge of that. Next, I'm going to dip into dye, which is this beautiful dark purple. Probably my favorite color in the palette because, well, you can tell. Kind of obsessed with purple. I just realized I didn't even swatch these first. I will swatch all the colors after. This is feeling a little bit on the chalky side, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the color payoff is still good, but I don't feel like it's getting a lot of the shimmer. Like, that's what it looks like swatched on my finger versus what it looks like on my lid. And going into my blending brush and blending out the top edge of that. And then I'm gonna pick up the color Spitfire and stick that in the inner portion. Okay, this one already, just sticking my brush into it, feels a little bit softer and less chalky. And this one has a little bit of a duochrome to it. It's got kind of like those blue reflex in it. That's pretty. See, I'm feeling like this looks a little patchy. I'm gonna try to pump up that purple in the middle a little bit. I'm gonna try wetting my brush down. I'm gonna dip into the blue first, the TRM. So you can see there's a little bit of that on my brush. I'm gonna spray it and see if that helps. That definitely helps. Look at that one, and look at that one. So I think the key to using these shimmer shades is definitely to spray them. Now obviously this isn't a look that I would normally do. Like, I wouldn't usually try to stick shimmer shades out in the outer corner like this because I want something that's going to blend really well, and these obviously aren't meant for that. Shimmer shades are usually meant to go all over the lids and just apply smoothly to the lids, whereas trying to blend it out on the outer corner is just not happening. I'm not going to bother trying to blend that out too much more. And look at all that fallout. Onto dye, which is the purple one. Spraying that. This purple is just almost too chalky. I mean, this is definitely helping, but it's just a weird consistency. Even with the spray, it's just applying kind of funny. Definitely more intense, but it's just the texture of it is weird. Onto the pink shade, Spitfire. Yeah, definitely more intense. I'm gonna try to go back into Tahine and blend the top out a little bit. I know it's probably gonna start to get really muddy if I blend too much. Okay, I'm gonna brush that powder away. Thank goodness I put powder down. Well, I want to keep trying more colors in this palette, so I'm gonna go with Lime Time, which is this really bright green, lime green. I'm gonna take the little stumpy end of the brush. I'm gonna put that under my eye. Oh, that's pretty. Next, I'm gonna tap into Brixton, which is the snowy white shade. I'm gonna pop that right in there. Ooh, that's bright. Okay, so I thought this was just like a pure white, but it actually has a little bit of a bluish shift in it, which is pretty. I'm going to try topping that with Leo, which is the blue shade in the same pan. That's really pretty too. I'm going to take Brixton under the brow bone. Okay, this ended up being a very colorful look. I feel like some kind of tropical bird. Oh, I wanted to use that gold shade. Yeah, I don't think I can pack anything else on my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna swatch all the colors for you now that I've already used them all on my face. Yeah, Spitfire is super creamy. Ooh, so is Stay Gold. Wow, look at that gold. Okay, now I'm sad that I didn't use that on my face. Tahine, that is some bright orange. This color swatch really pretty. I'm definitely excited to use that gold color because that looks beautiful. They all look super pigmented when I swatch them. Sheesh. Like, that's intense. That did not translate on my eye. Although I did not use this one on my eyes. I just used this one. So I just swatched all the colors on my arm, talked about them, did a whole little ditty, wiped them off my arm, only to realize that it stopped recording halfway through swatching them. So I'm gonna swatch the rest of them for you. Again, going first with Leo and Brixton. Now, Brixton, when you go in with your finger, is so soft. You have to be very gentle dipping into it, or else you're gonna like gouge it like I did the first time I swatched it. And these are super pale, so they're hard to see on my arm. But this one, this top one here, Leo, is definitely a gorgeous like blue sheen that is not translating on camera. And then we'll go into Dye, Corona, and 13th Floor. That one is beautiful, Corona. So pretty. And this black is super black, super pigmented. I'm a little bit glad that I did not swatch these first and then play with them on my eyes, because that would have been a real letdown. Although, I don't know, there's definitely a lack of consistency within the formula in the shimmer shades, because some of them are super soft and buttery and some of them are a little more gritty and chalky, and they just don't translate onto the eyes. But it's mostly this purple one, Dye, and the dark blue, TRM. Like, Tahine blended out really nicely. Spitfire color worked really nice. The Lime Time worked really nice. Both the highlights worked really nice. So I know that dark purples and blues are a lot harder to get right in formulas, and they're just harder to make. So it's disappointing, but it's understandable because I know that those shades are harder to make. I think the rest of the palette's gonna be really beautiful. I'm excited to play with this more, see what other kind of looks I can come up with, and it's definitely a good palette to incorporate with other palettes. Okay, I feel naked. I'm gonna go put my eyelashes on and my lipstick on, and then I'll be back to talk about it a little bit more. That feels better. I feel a little more complete now. Still feeling like a tropical bird of paradise, but I'm okay with that because I love color. My final thoughts on this palette are, or my current thoughts on this palette are, obviously I won't have final thoughts until I use all of these colors, but I think I'm gonna be okay with this palette. Obviously I am a little bit disappointed by some of the colors in here, but it's really only this dark blue and this dark purple that have me concerned. Maybe those are colors that she should have left out of the palette, but I totally understand where she was going with the palette because she is a very colorful person. I can see why she would want those kind of colors in there. And I think I can still make those colors work in other looks. Like if I want to do a smoky black eye and then have a pop of dark blue on the lid, I could make that work with some setting spray and just sticking it on my lid. That would be fine. I wouldn't have to blend it out and stuff. So it's definitely a color I can work with. Same thing with the purple. I can make both of those work. And I do think that it is a very beautiful, cohesive palette with those colors in it. So with that being said, I definitely think I'll get a lot of use out of it. I am someone who plays with a lot of color, so having a palette like this in my collection is definitely useful to me. If you're more of a beginner with makeup, I would definitely recommend getting her Daydream palette. The Daydream palette definitely seems like a more wearable, everyday kind of palette. And from what I've seen of the mattes in this palette, I definitely think that those ones will be really good quality. But I definitely want to say congrats to Kristen for partnering with Urban Decay. I think the whole collection is a really fun idea. I like the colors that you came out with, and I think it's an awesome collection. So that's so awesome, and I'm definitely glad that I could show my support by buying one of the palettes, because it's always just so cool when YouTubers can collaborate with brands and make their vision come to life. I think that's amazing. It's definitely something that I want to do in the future once I get big enough to be noticed by brands. First they have to notice me, but it's just encouraging to see that that's where things can end up. So I will always support YouTubers that I love, and Kristen Leanne is one of those YouTubers. With that said, that's the end of my video. I will definitely be uploading looks using that palette on Instagram, so make sure you're following me there. And before you leave, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!